Ready?
Okay, Coach, go ahead.
All right. On the weekend, 2-1. I didn't think we played terrific on Friday against Marshall and Maryland, but defensively, we had some troubles making some stops. But I thought we had a relatively decent offensive day, and we continued to side out and got those wins. And so that was nice to go into the Michigan match with a 2-0 Friday. And then Saturday night, it was a fun one at Michigan. You're playing at number 10 in the country, and they've got a really fun hostile band and a good student section. So it's a neat environment to play in, a great experience for our team. And I thought we played really well in sets 2 and 4. I think in the second set we had 3 aces, 3 blocks to go along with our 14 kills or whatever it was, and I thought that got us that win. In the fourth, I thought we were able to find kills. That match started very offensive for both teams and then became almost a defensive battle as the match went on. I think as teams kind of figured out more and more about each other. It was really, really hard to get kills. And hats off to Michigan. I thought they made it really tough for us. I thought we had a break go against us at 7-5 that I think could have made it 7-6, and instead we took the turn at 8-5, and we weren't really able to recover from that. We fought back. I think we got it to 11-9, and Michigan called a timeout, and then I think they got the next one or two. So it was a fun match and a fun environment. The team played hard. They got a little frustrated in Game 3. They fought back and got Game 4, so I was happy to see that resilience. And when we lose tough 5-game matches, to a team in the top 10, we talk about, that's why you came here. We left it all out on the floor, and we tried to get a win and couldn't. So from here, I'd be happy to talk about that, but from here, the team's mindset will be moving forward into conference play. But I'm happy to go either way with the questions.
Can I just have you elaborate a little bit? You said Friday you had some defensive issues to work through. Just talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we just, Maryland's a really physical team. They run a 6-2, so they've got 3 hitters coming at you in all different situations. They hit hard, they jump high, so it's a pretty dynamic offense coming at you. And if you're not getting block touches, it's really hard to get digs. And so I thought they were scoring a little bit against us. And again, I didn't break down those numbers much because we had such a quick turnaround to Marshall. And then Marshall has a kid who's an elite slide hitter who did a really nice job with it against us. And so we'll definitely be working to improve on that. But they've got a couple of good seniors, pretty good attackers. They've got a lefty that I think we dealt with her okay. But as a whole, I didn't think we were playing great defense. I didn't think we had a great week of practice going in, so I was pretty happy that we were able to get out of there with 7 sets in a really, really hot gym on Friday. And then we did play better on Saturday. I'd say 60 to 75% of the time. Games 2 and 4, we were very, very good, and then in the other ones, I think Michigan was, proved that they were better.
With the 4 non-conference weekends in the books, did you get everything done that you wanted to? You mentioned a couple weeks ago you wanted the purpose of non-conference is to kind of see everything thrown at your team and see how you work through it and touch a lot of things and cover a lot of things. Did you get through all that in the last week?
I think so. I don't think there's many questions we still have in what our team will be able to do. I think there's 1 or 2 situations late in the Michigan match that we need to teach our players to maybe respond a little bit better to adversity in those situations. And so now we'll be able to point at that loss and say, this is what we needed to do to win that. I didn't think we took care of the ball really great. And so we learned that and how valuable that is in terms of being able to dig to kill and things like that. So we learned really, and what's really neat is, with our editing system and our stat information, with Chelsea getting injured the second weekend, we're able to take our last 7 matches and really dive into the numbers of things that we do well and don't do well. And so we learned a lot. We sat down today as a staff and talked about specifically 4 or 5 things that we can get better at through the course of the next 8 weeks and be prepared for a run at hopefully a chance at a conference championship.
Are you guys turning the page on Chelsea? Is that injury going to pretty much knock her?
Yeah, she'll be out for the year. She'll medical, and then she's kind of looking into. She's going to graduate easily in 4 years, so she's looking into some grad school options, and we hope to have her back in 14 and 15.
How does the mind state kind of change this week heading into conference play?
That's a really good question. It's challenge. What's neat now is we're in it for a championship. So what we do is we every Monday we do a conference update with our team, and we show who did what in conference play, and we almost call it a race to a championship. What we don't know is this year, does it take 16-0 to win the regular season? Does it take 15-1? Does it take 14-2? We don't know. My guess is 15-1, 14-2 is what it might take to win it. And so we know we're in it to win it. We're trying to win. So we know every match is important. If you're going to go 14-2 or 15-1 in a league, you can't take anybody for granted. And so we kind of focus on that race. And now we turn the page, and it's fun. The team likes that. They like seeing, if we're sitting at 3-1 at one point and somebody's at 4-0. I remember last year, opening weekend, BG got us, and we chased them down all year and finally passed them on the last weekend. And that was fun. In fact, I actually think that loss contributed to us winning the regular season championship, as we were chasing somebody all year. And so this year we'll see how the teams start off the first week or two and see where we go.
What are your thoughts going into Buffalo and Akron? I mean, I know Buffalo's got a good record, but they don't play quite the schedule that Ohio does, and then Akron is mediocre.
Yeah, Buffalo, regardless of their schedule, I think they have a couple of nice wins. 3 over Central Florida and 4 against Valpo. Those are two pretty good teams. I think the biggest thing is they're scoring 19 points a game, and they've won a lot of these games without their stud lefty, Liz Scott, who's been nicked up. So it looks like she played a little last weekend. We get the tapes and stuff today. And so if they were scoring 19 points without her. 19 points, regardless of your opponent, is difficult. I mean, I think they were killing over 14 a game. They're blocking over 3 a game and acing over 1.5 a game. I mean, you have to play well against anybody to put up those kind of numbers, and they're doing it, and they're winning a ton of 3-0s. I mean, it's not like they're dropping games against teams that aren't, super high quality. So we're diving into them today and tomorrow, and we don't fully know what to expect. They've had a lot of different kids playing, and they're winning a lot, and they're scoring a lot of points. We thought last year they were a really athletic team that just wasn't quite putting it together. We actually talked to our team both times we played them last year about, hey, this is a pretty athletic, physical team. They do this well, but they seem to shoot themselves in the foot a lot. That was them last year. This year they seem to have fixed all those, shooting themselves in the foot. So they're going to be a handful. And then Saturday, Akron had a pretty good senior class last year, and so they've had some struggles this preseason. But, on their floor, they've given us fits before. Anytime you put a number by your name, you're going to get everybody's best shot. We had a couple of years, I was hoping a little bit. I mean, you say hope. You obviously want to do well in the preseason, but, we weren't picked to win the league this year. And, we were kind of, come in under the radar and let's win this thing and have a chip on our shoulder. And now all of a sudden you attach a top 25 number to our name, and I don't think we're coming in under anybody's radar. I think we're going to get everybody's best shot. I think we're going to get everybody's best crowd, and we're going to have some tough road environments this year. And so we're really, again, and our theme last year, and this won't change in regular season play, is when you're in a quest for a championship, every game is for the championship. Because you've got to get 14 or 15 wins, and so we don't take anyone for granted. We don't show up and think, okay, this team's 8th place in the conference. We don't have to do our thing to get this win. We don't want to miss any of those opportunities. There's been a year when, a 5-game screamer on the road, the second week has cost us a regular season championship. And so, we'll do our best to not let that happen.
You mentioned after the Michigan game, I think it was, that they were just a little bit better in a couple of the key phases of the game than you guys, you felt you were at that point. Coming into conference play, where do you feel you are in all those phases, and how do you match up against the rest of them?
Well, one of the things we talked about is, Michigan's defense is so long. A 5'11" setter, a 6'2", and a 6'1" outside hitter, 6'4" middles, a 6'5" middle right side. Even their libero is probably 5'7" versus some of the teams you see where a libero is 5'3". So it's just really hard to find kills. There's not much space. Plus, they're so high and physical above the net that you have to try and hit around them, and that's not very hard to defend behind. and so those phases make them an extremely good team. There aren't a lot of schools in our conference that have 6-foot kids roaming the back row and 6'4" kids roaming the net in multiple positions that are as quick as those kids are. And so, you just have to execute extremely well and be very efficient when you play a team that well. In our conference, there might be a 5'9" kid in the back row, and you're talking arm length and reach, and that adds up and creates more space in the back, and so hopefully it's a little easier to kill it against teams that are smaller. Sometimes smaller means faster, though, so that can be challenging as well. But in terms of our phases of the game, I thought we actually served pretty well, which we needed to get better at. I'd still like to see us be a little bit better at blocking. I'd still like us to see a little bit better in the side-out game. But, again, in breaking down our numbers, we're very balanced offensively, and I think that's going to cause some fits. It's, 6 different players have been all-tournament team. So, I like that. I like our balance. I like that kids can step up and we can kill it from multiple positions, and if you take one thing away, we can score in another.
You said that serving went well for you guys. Can you elaborate just a little bit more on that? I know it's a big part of, it starts the point. So.
Yeah, and I have to look at that to make sure I'm right. I remember not wanting to pull my hair out often. Just under an ace a game, we'd like to be above it, and we gave up only 0.75 aces per game. So the goal is 0.6 there. So we didn't get aced a ton in the serve pass game. And our regular servers, didn't miss much. It's hard to get aces. I thought they were some pretty good passing teams. But I don't know. I guess I'm forgetting the original beginning of the question. But it looked a little bit better. It felt a little better.
How important is the serve overall in the game?
It starts your defense. And to have a good defense, you have to have a good serve. It has to be aggressive. You have to be willing to miss. Right now, one of our best rotations is when Alexis serves and she misses the most. So if that tells you anything. So, if you can miss once in a while, if you get the other team, we call it out of system, when they pass it bad. When they pass it bad, we have a much, much better chance of getting stops. I think teams hit a 200 against us when they pass it bad. They hit a 300 against us when they pass it well. So, you want that first touch on the other side to be not perfect.
And everyone's style of serve is a little different. We saw Kelly jump serve a little more this weekend than we have in the past. Is there an explanation for that?
Yeah, well, Kelly has used the jump serve in her career, I think, freshman and sophomore year. And with all the quick pace back row attacking that she's been doing and playing 3 matches in a weekend, we thought we could potentially just save 20 jumps here and there and keep her on the ground. We had her go up and spin a couple. We had her against a rotation where Michigan was passing with 2 players. So we were trying to get the ball over as quickly as possible, and her spinner has more pace than her standing floater. So that was a bit of a strategic move, but we're going to dabble with her on both serves probably throughout the whole fall. We want to score more when she's serving than we currently are, so we just have to find the best serve for her. But yeah, everybody's got their own little quirks and things that they like to do, and at the end of the day, we just hope that we get close to as many aces as we have errors.
You kind of touched on this, Coach. You mentioned that you guys weren't picked to win the league. There was a chance for you guys to be the hunter instead of the hunted, and you guys have played well enough in the first month that that's not going to be the case, right? Yeah,
I think sadly that's changed. But it's not going to change in our locker room. I mean, we get to now play against 16 matches against people that thought we weren't the best, and so I can tell you that the chip isn't off my shoulder, and to think that hey, we're a blue collar, hardworking, chip on our shoulder bunch, and we recruited that way, and I'm that way, and if you tell us we're not going to win the conference, we want to prove you wrong. And so whatever 8 people voted us not to win it, or 10 people voted us not to win it, we're going to try and find them and make them eat their words. But it's not going to be easy. I mean, there's some pretty good teams in the league this year. I said from the beginning, I thought between us, BG, Western, and then maybe throw Northern in there. Ball State's playing terrific. This could be the best. The top of the MAC has been 3, 4, 5 deep since I've been here. And I thought it was in 08, I thought we had 3 really strong teams. In 10, 4 teams got in, but I don't think, I think that was a good balance and good scheduling and good preseason versus this year. I think there's some really talented teams. I mean, BYU will be in the top 25 this week, and BG knocked them off, and Western beat Northwestern, a Big Ten team in the #1 conference. So it's going to be a little bit of a bloodbath out there.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.